Good evening, America. Welcome back to another episode of Break the Machine podcast. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Your boy went to the VA this weekend and got himself some roids and some antibiotics, and I am on the mend, fam. Still drinking tea. Was finally to have some coffee. Good to have some coffee in the morning for the first time in 2 weeks. Because when I'm sick, I can't stand drinking coffee. Um, Doing a lot better though, fam. Doing a lot better. So, thanks to all of you for putting up with me and my nasal shit for the last 2 weeks and whatnot, and the freaking silent cough that you guys were seeing on the screen. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Really, really do. Don't forget to pick up some Stars and Stripes coffee, fam. Link is in the description, and you will see the ticker going by throughout the night. There is a buy me a coffee link at the top of each chat. If you'd like to help the channel, we appreciate it. Um, anyway, we have a lot to, there's just so much that's constantly going on in the news. The news cycle just never ends. It's just good to see everybody. Good to be back and feeling a little bit better. Let's bring Red Day in so we can get going. Scott, what's up, brother?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
Cool.
Definitely got you.
Let's,
Um,
let's hope
news.
everything goes well tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I hope it looks like
So
Rumble
far,
was
so good.
working. Yeah, Jonathan, Rumble, we good on Rumble, fam? Looks like it.
Seems like it.
What's up,
I see
Conserve
people starting
Reality?
to come on in.
Yeah, Rogue Nina, Rosie Riveters, good to see you, hun. Um, Always good to see you, Prima. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord, fam. I gotta get with Jonathan and see what we're doing as far as movie night this month and when he has a Saturday available to do that. So once I talk to him, I will let you all know. But yeah, it's just been one hell of a freaking
Yeah,
weekend. Just everything is in
definitely.
the news cycle has just been crazy. It's been batshit crazy, actually. Uh, it's just
Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
nuts.
it's sad to say people are getting hurt and
Yeah,
people are, it's, I just don't understand it. Like, I see people arguing in like the comment section
yeah,
about like, oh, well, you're on this side or that side. It's like, dude, all they want us to do is fight.
yeah.
If
It's
you're
true.
really against, if you're really against like the powers that be or whatever, it's not the person, trying to hurt some grandma walking down the street is not, they're not in charge.
Yeah.
They're
No.
not, they're not part of the problem or whatever you perceive to be the problem. They're not it. Trust me. They're just not it. It's like, and
Yeah.
whatever you think you're doing is nothing.
It's fucking nuts. It's crazy. You got people on both sides of the spectrum that are drumming this shit up. Uh,
Mhm.
and fucking they just won't shut their pie holes. A lot of people in Big Con, obviously the left is fucking who they are. They've always been that way. We know that. Hey, Blondie, what's going on, hun? Good to see you. And it
Yeah.
looks like Jonathan said the 14th and the 21st. It looks like we're open. Those 2 Saturdays. Because the 27th, I won't. The 28th, I won't be around. Right? Is that?
Okay.
Yeah. Um.
I don't
So
remember
we'll
what
have
day
to
it
either do it
was.
on the 14th or the Saturday. 14th and the 21st are both Saturdays. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like I said, they're drumming this up, and what makes me mad about the whole shit is that this fucker, okay, this
Which
scumbag,
one?
this shitbird fucking jihadi fuck, okay, was
Mm-hmm.
let in by the last administration, overstood his visa
Yep.
on two separate occasions. They extended him the first time, and then he just
Yeah.
fucking overstood it. And we talk about the MS-13 and we talk about TDA, but we don't talk about these jihadi goat fucking fucks, okay, who came into this country with the ulterior, just the motive, okay, to fucking hurt Americans at some point. That is a real thing, okay, and
Yeah.
and and a lot of this shit, a lot of these fuckers came in under the last administration and whatnot. Not that they haven't been here in the
Mm-hmm.
country for a long time, but they see that they have backing in the United States by both fucking sides of the aisle. Okay, just constantly fucking fending for them and waving their fucking flags for them and whatnot. So this is where we're at, fam. It's just bullshit. Okay, um,
Yeah.
he just fucking hey Lisa Angelina, what is up, hon? Um, you know, it's just fucking bullshit, man. And I'm sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it- Nobody's saying that you don't have the right to fucking, if you want to criticize another country like Israel, if you want to criticize APAC, but they flame up other shit too. Okay. And with all the flaming that's going on, this is this type of shit that it leads to with these crazy fucks. Okay. Like I said, this jihadi goat fucking bastard, okay, just, overstood his fucking welcome and his visas and whatnot,
Hmm.
and, found an opportunity to do some harm, okay? And it's not just, by the way, it's not just fucking Jews that this dude hates. And what he hates Christians, he hates Americans, he hates the fucking Western world. But he's here in the United States, okay? Probably got benefits, probably was put up in a fucking hotel, okay, living off of your tax dollar. America, this is what fucking we're putting up with. It's insane, man. And it bugs me. It bugs me, man, because these some of these motherfuckers, like I said, are true believers, okay? And they hate the Western world. They don't just hate Jews, they hate fucking Christians just as much, okay? And they hate our way of life. And it would do anything, okay, to fucking end us. And people, it doesn't fucking sit with people because 99% of the people in this nation didn't have to fucking deal with these motherfuckers on in their world, like the 1%
Hmm.
of us that did. So it bugs me, man. It drives me crazy. I'll get off my rant and let you go for a little bit because I got to drink some tea anyway.
Oh, it's okay, man. Like I was saying, it's like you touched on it. The people that just don't assimilate, and we used to have differences like cultural differences and things like that, and yet at the same time, you know, we were able to put those things aside and get together on certain things.
Yeah.
When it came to like national pride or like sporting teams or
Yeah.
sometimes just national holidays, there were things that brought everybody together. The 4th of July used to be for everybody. Now apparently
Right.
it's not for everybody. You know, um, when you used to watch like the Super Bowl, it's something like everybody could enjoy it. Oh, not everybody can enjoy it now.
Yeah.
No, things that were just like popular TV shows. Well, it seems like no matter how popular the show is, it seems to like divide everybody on why it's popular. Whether it's popular for the wrong reasons. People have to pick apart everything,
Right.
and it's just stupid. I do have to say this too. For all the anti uh, illegal sentiment and everything like that, I do have to say this because this happened to somebody in my own family. You know, that doesn't mean that every freaking Spanish person on the street is illegal.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
So, I don't think it. I feel bad because if I was there when this incident happened, I would have had a few words for this person.
Yeah.
But
100%, man.
this person just walked up to someone in the line and was like talking about well, just talking shit about illegals to them, and she's like, well, they were making references to them, and they've been living here for like 40 years. They were born here.
Right.
This happened to be Spanish,
Yeah.
and you know, as much frustration as we all have, again, it's not meant to, whatever you want to call it, our cause, the conservative side, the right side, or whatever. It's not meant to be indiscriminately targeted towards minorities. Like I don't have a problem with minorities. I don't have a problem with people with different religions. I don't want to deport the country. I want to
Right.
deport the people who don't belong here
Correct.
you know so just don't jump the gun and be like go around like screaming at people. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not productive at all.
Yo, well, I tell you a story. Fucking that happened to my mom. My mom looks still very Spanish, like her family hails from Spain, even though she's Puerto Rican.
Sure.
Okay, so she looks very European. So she's in a supermarket with my son when my son was probably about 5 years old. And my son's, he's darker skinned because, like, between me
Hmm.
and his mother, who is from Trinidad and Tobago and whatnot, okay, his skin was a little darker, and he's West Indian, right? Too. He's not just Puerto Rican; he's West Indian as well. So, not really dark. I mean, he's not like a super dark person. He's a little bit darker than me. And
Right.
literally, this lady, fucking, my mom almost killed this woman. This lady went up to her. She was like, "Oh, wow, I'm so happy. It looks like um, it's great to see adoption happening." So my mom almost flipped her fucking wig. And I was like, "What? What do you?" And this at the time, my mom was a cop in the South Bronx. All right, so she had that. She still had that city chip on her shoulder, and she was like, "What did you just say to me, woman?" She told her just like that. It's like, "This is my grandson. Why? Just because we're two different colors? Like fucking, he can't be related to me?" and like she just like tore into this lady. So people are just stupid, okay, because they can't think out of their own box, all right, and out of their own bubble, all right, and it's ridiculous. Just fucking people are just ridiculous. They can't expand their own minds, right? And listen, I'm all for assimilation and whatnot, but it has to be assimilation. I'm originally from Brooklyn, Lisa. My mom's is a Bronx girl. Uh, yeah. So it's just crazy. Speaking of Lisa Angelina, she's gonna be with us on Friday, right?
Well, I haven't
Just
confirmed with her yet, but you can ask her right
oh,
there.
Lisa, you're gonna come on. You're gonna come hang with us on Friday. We'll get a see if we can get a confirmation from her today. If you can, it's okay. We'll reschedule. We'll do what we have to do. But I understand you'd like to come on, and we can shoot the breeze. Yeah, I spent a lot. All right, so Lisa Angelina is going to be with us on Friday. I spent a lot of time in the Bronx, Lisa. Between Brooklyn, because like I grew up with my biological mom. All right, I call my stepmother mom because she's been there since I was 2 years old, and then when my mom passed when I was 14 in high school, she just was there. Um, but I spent a lot of time between Brooklyn and the Bronx. I grew up in Brooklyn in Sunset Park, and then I used to go to Norwood in the Bronx. It was still an Irish neighborhood at the time, and then when my parents left, it was becoming more of a Hispanic neighborhood, but it was like all Irish at the time and whatnot. So like my friends in the Bronx were all. It was a little bit of a mixed neighborhood, but it was more Irish than anything and whatnot. Um, 205th in Decatur, Lisa. That's where I spent a lot of time in the Bronx. I used to hang out up at the Oval up at Gun Hill in the summer. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was actually very close to my biological mom, but she had issues. She partied pretty hard. Had a hard childhood, and it's actually probably the reason her and my stepmother got along together very well because my stepmother had a very hard childhood too, which led her to police work. Um, and they got along very, very well actually. So it's probably another reason why I love my stepmother so much and call her mom. But yeah, I lost her at a young age because she was sick and then she also had issues too. So just kind of caught up to her. But anyway, where were we? But yes, Lisa confirmed. We're gonna have Lisa Angelina is gonna come chill with us on Friday, which would be good. And Lisa's a veteran too, so it'll be good to bring her on and just jump into the shit with us. uh, but speaking of the shit, okay, did you see what these two Eastern European twinks are doing over? They're really making Trump look. I'm gonna be honest, they're eating his fucking lunch right now with the bullshit these two idiots are fucking doing to one another
I
over
don't know what you're
there.
talking about.
Yeah, the shit that went down in fucking Ukraine
Hmm.
and whatnot.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? The guy from South
Zelensky.
Carolina.
No, no, Zelensky.
Oh, I thought
We'll
you were
get
talking
into.
about the
Oh
congressman
yeah,
that went
yeah,
to go see him.
yeah. Fucking Lindsey Graham was over there, fucking stroking. What do you call it? Me, he was probably fucking buffing his knob. Zelensky over there, and then they turned around and they pulled this shit, you know,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Supposed to be talking peace, and here we are. This is Trump left in
I
the
don't.
dark over the airbase attacks on Russia. Donald Trump was not told about Ukraine's mass drone attack on Russia's strategic bomber base. And it looks like we got this stupid. We're not doing any fucking trials. We're not doing that. So anyway, we just know that happened. We can just talk about it. Yeah, and Lindsey Graham was over there fucking, cock gobbling the little Frodo's fucking cock over there.
I mean, I'm starting to actually think that this is not going to end.
It's not.
I was up,
It's not.
I was optimistic for a little while there. I
So
thought
was I.
Trump was going to like put an end to it.
Yeah.
Neither side wants. It's basically like either side just wants to get the last lick in, and then they're like, okay,
Yep.
now let's talk about peace. And it's
Yep.
like Russia's not going to talk about peace. That you saw what happened. They met for a peace talk today, and it lasted an hour. Russia
Yeah.
was like, we're
Yeah.
out.
They did. Both these fucking jabronis, all right, are just not. They're not into. It's not
Zelensky has the nerve to pull some shit that he did like over the weekend, and then literally like release a statement saying, "Okay, we're ready to talk for peace." Like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me? But not with this Operation Got You Last crap.
Yeah, it's who's gonna have the fucking the last like you said, I gotta get last licks in.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't want to end this shit. Um, you know, they don't want to end it. Both parties don't want to fucking end it. It's just they don't,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
gonna get worse. They're
Ukraine.
gonna keep one upping each other.
Yeah, that's what's gonna keep happening. And contrary to popular belief, Ukraine might be catching these fucking little W's. It's not gonna. That shit won't last for long. Okay, if Russia ever
Yeah.
truly decided to ramp shit up the way they actually can, they could fucking decimate that whole country if they want to.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting
You
for
know.
a what do you call it? I'm waiting for them like to wake up and there's like a picture of like a mushroom cloud or something like that. So yeah, that's where Ukraine used to be.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think Putin wants that. No matter how much he talks about
I
that.
don't think so either, but
Um.
at some point he's gonna have to be like, this Mickey Mouse shit is done.
Yeah. But the thing is, he
He
doesn't
doesn't want
even
to
need.
keep losing troops either.
Yeah, but he doesn't need nuclear weapons for that. It's the same thing like we don't need nuclear weapons for sure. We got fucking we got bombs that are just essentially the equivalent of the fucking hydrogen bomb we dropped on fucking Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's not, you know what I'm saying? We got that stuff. They got that stuff too. They got things that could really
You know,
really do some damage, that aren't nuclear based and whatnot. But it's just both these fucking idiots don't want to stop, right? And they're making and I don't know what Trump's gonna do. I start sanctioning the shit out of people that because he's not going to fight for anybody. You know that. There's not gonna be one fucking American troop.
is the sanctions really gonna matter at this point?
It actually worked fucking last time, right? But true, it's true. Would it even work? I agree. I mean, could it even work, right? Could any sanctions even work at this point? Because both sides they don't want to. They just don't want to fucking uh you know they don't want to stop, man.
I mean, even if Trump turned around and said we're completely out, we don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
The EU would be happy to just take over and just be like, okay,
Yeah, but
fine,
but the
we're
EU
gonna we're
can't
gonna.
take over. That's the thing. The EU can't take over. They think they can talk like they can, but they can't. They don't have the fucking means, okay, to do it. They just don't. Or the manpower to do. The only nation in this world that could fucking save the Ukraine if they really wanted to is us. And Trump's not gonna do that. He's just not gonna do
Well,
that.
look at it this way: like the last few years, I was thinking about this over the weekend actually. The last few years, remember how pissed off we would get every time Biden would come on, or somebody would be like, "We put together another big military package. We put
Yeah,
together this.
yeah,
We put together." I think it's for a while. It seemed like it was happening like every other week, right? It seemed
yeah.
like it was just like another 50 million here, another billion here, another 700 million here. So here we are. We finally, and since what do you call it? Even after the speaker, I can't think of his name, took over. I can't
Johnson?
remember his name.
Uh
Johnson.
yeah.
Um, Congress stopped passing it, but then Biden kept pulling money from all these different places,
Yes.
finding
He
money
kept
here,
finding
finding
money
money
too.
there.
Correct. Correct.
So that
Jonathan, I'm
stopped.
talking. Sorry, brother.
Oh,
I'm talking about the sanctions under the first term. I should have been more specific, because people fail to remember that Trump was actually pretty hard on Russia his first
yeah.
term and whatnot, and it hurt them. But at this point, I don't know. But go ahead, man. Yeah,
But
Biden
then,
kept
first of all,
fucking
Nina,
pulling
yes,
shit.
I did. Nina, I did shave it off. Um,
He went pretty boy style.
yeah, all the way back. Um, but here I was thinking, okay, well, I'm not thinking, but Trump took over in January. Okay,
Right.
no more packages have been sent over.
Right.
I was I'm waiting for it to run out, and I don't see it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at least
Well,
Zelensky's not acting like he's unlimited supplies right now. He's just going full force.
yeah, he's going full tilt on shit. I
You
will
know,
say this that
still
I
begging for shit too, by the way. He's begging
yeah,
for
but
shit, but he's
bricks.
not acting like he needs the shit either.
Yeah, but the bricks came afterwards, though, Jonathan. You're right, though. You're absolutely correct. Bricks did circumvent all of the stuff that was put in place that Biden didn't fucking what do you call it? He didn't either add or take away. You're absolutely right. Bricks definitely came together with bricks, but even that. they with bricks, right? They're fucking counting on the Chinese yuan, which is worthless, okay, for whatever they're gonna do. That's not gonna work in the end.
Yeah.
As it's just a massive bubble that's gonna blow up on them if they do that. Which is why a lot of those BRICS nations have come running to Trump, okay, to make fucking deals and whatnot. But
Yeah.
you're right
South
though.
Africa already
BRICS
did.
definitely came together. You're right, Jonathan, on that. Um, but yeah, these two twits. Um,
But the thing about BRICS was it was BRICS was counting on China state maintaining their wealth and their stability and their strength.
that's not
Right
really
now,
happening.
everything that I'm seeing, everything that I'm seeing is that people are like fucking stars. People in China are literally starving right now
Yeah,
because the U.S. is no longer buying shit from them.
right.
We can't afford to. We can't afford to export anything.
We're forcing the issue on things with trade and whatnot, which is also
Hmm.
causing not just us, other nations to leave China to come here, right? That's the
Yeah.
end game. That's the end game with what Trump is trying to do with all these tariffs and
Hmm.
whatnot. But it's these two fucking twits are gonna continue to do their shit, and Jonathan's right though. At this point with fucking sanctions, honestly, you both are. Would they even work? Really, would they
Yeah.
even work at this point, right? They worked on the first term. Jonathan's correct. BRICS was put together to what do you call it? Just to try to fucking circumvent all of that, just to kind of
Hmm.
run us into the dirt, right? What they were hoping on with BRICS was that Biden would get reelected. That's what they were hoping on. Because if
Yep.
Biden gets reelected, they'd be burying us right now. But that didn't happen. Okay. And fucking Trump went right to tariffs, right? He went back to his old game. All right. He forced everybody, including a lot of those BRICS nations, to come running to the table. And they're still doing it to this day. They're still trying. The EU, okay, begged for a fucking 90-day extension till July so that they could freaking, continue to work on a
Hmm.
trade deal with us. So
Yep.
speaking of the EU, all right. We got a nice conservative win in Poland. I don't know if you saw that over
Oh
the
yeah.
weekend.
Yep.
It says conservative Noraki wins Polish presidential election in major upset against globalist Warsaw mayor. That's good. Political newcomer Karol Nawrocki has pulled off a stunning come from behind victory in the Polish presidential elections on Sunday, defeating neoliberal Warsaw mayor Rafał Trzaskowski of Prime Minister Donald Tusk's globalist Civic Platform Party. Uh, well, they kept updating it. Biden might says about 05, according to Gazeta. Wyborska Law and Justice
Seems
Party
like they were
candidate Karol
arguing the
Nawrocki.
outcome at first, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think they were. It says at 1:50 in the morning, 1:45, a third exit poll covering 90% of voting areas has projected him to win, and then they just
Okay.
confirmed it this morning. The progressive mayor only won 49.11%. So it was a close win. It was tight, okay, but I remember when they lost their conservative freaking leadership in recent years. That just happened under the Biden administration.
Hmm.
So it's good to see them
Yep.
go back
Yep.
because you guys have both seen myself. What is going on, Sonia? Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. Brazil's a big part of that BRICS thing. But again, a lot of the BRICS nation, including the big ones with the big what do you call it economies, have come running to us
Hmm.
to fix shit. Uh, because it's just this isn't gonna fucking he's not gonna let up with this shit. He doesn't care what the judges are saying. He's gonna bitch about it. He'll do his appeal, but you know what? He'll write another executive order and just keep pushing it.
We'll see.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's good
Biden
to
would
see
have
the
never fixed anything.
yeah,
That's for
Biden
sure.
wouldn't have fixed anything. It would be
He would
worse.
just
We'd be
print. He would have printed more money,
yeah.
and
Yeah, BRICS
who
BRICS
knows?
was running away with shit, but like you said, they were depending on the Chinese. That kind of fucking blew up in their face.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just again, all of those nations have come running back, just to make deals with us because that's what the whole, and we said it 100 times, is why I keep bringing up this tariff stuff, is because the
Yeah.
negotiations just continue to happen, and it just continues to it's one thing after the other, and in the end, we win, right? Like, if it's going to be real free trade, it's got to be, it's either going to be a 1 for 1 or a 0 for 0, and not only are we letting you sell your stuff, but you got to let us sell our stuff too. Because that's another thing they do, right? So they'll do a zero
Oh,
tariffs, but
sure.
they still won't let us sell certain things in their country that can't be anymore. That shit has to come to an end.
Exactly.
Any deals that we make, if it's going to be absolute
Yep.
free trade, then it's like, all right, you're selling your cars, we're selling our cars too.
Yep.
Period. You're selling whatever bullshit washing machine you got here that's gonna break down after the first load. Then we're gonna we're gonna
Hmm.
send out fucking washing machines over there that we
Oh
got
yeah.
most of our parts from your country anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I
nuts.
mean, tons of those companies are coming back and they're opening up new plants here
Yeah,
because without being able to sell here, they ain't got a company.
no, it's true. It's
Funny
true,
how that
man.
is.
Bro, we're the biggest consumers in the world, man.
Hmm.
Okay, we consume everybody else's shit, all right, and not enough of our own. It's crazy, man. It's just absolutely fucking nuts. Um, yeah, and
Hmm.
it was sad to see because Brazil had some conservative leadership there, and then the left took over. A lot of good. I've known a lot of good Brazilians in my life. Okay, really good fucking people.
No,
They come to this nation and fucking work. They open up businesses. They assimilate, and as much as they love being Brazilian, a lot of the ones that I've met have also loved this country as well. So, um, but their
I feel bad
nation
for Brazil. Yeah,
I do. Their nation, man, uh, making that freaking making that shift to the left is just, again, sad, man. It's just sad. Like I said, a lot of good people in Brazil, man. Just a lot
was
of
it
good.
was it really a shift or was it more of a shenanigans?
I think it was shenanigans, um, because they were doing very well with the conservative
I
leadership
thought so too.
that they had going. I think their judges, I think it was all judicial coup shit that helped
Hmm.
the commies fucking take over in Brazil.
Hmm.
you know and like Sonia's saying, they're building their relations with Russia because again, that was all part of BRICS and China, but China's not fucking doing as well as people think they are. China's so close with a lot of shit. Okay, you have to really dig deep to see that that's just a bubble waiting to absolutely implode and explode. I agree with you, Sonia. It was definitely shenanigans. I believe they did steal that election,
Yeah,
not just from Bolsonaro, okay, but from the people of Brazil. All right, they fucking stole it from
yeah.
the people of Brazil, man. And
I
Brazil is
was so
headed in the
sure
right
he was going to
direction.
get reelected.
So was I.
I mean, it seemed like he just had like the cultural following like that Trump had. You know, everywhere he
Yes,
went, he was just
he was a
drawing like
populist.
millions and
He's a
millions of people.
populist. Yep,
There's
a
so many
conservative
people in the
populist.
streets for him.
Absolutely, yeah, man.
So,
I saw the videos, right? Like it was like
mhm.
massive turnout of Brazilians for him, man. That's why I couldn't for the life of me believe that fucking he lost that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's why it's hard to believe. And now
Yeah,
everything that's he's going through, it's almost like a mirror image of like what Trump went through. Just
yeah,
like a couple years later, it's like I don't know what happened to him. He was in the hospital. Now he's out of the hospital. Now they're going to put him through like all this lawfare. He's trying to run again, and they're already lining up. You know, the cases against him, and it's just like ridiculous. They're trying
yeah,
to like put the lawfare against him just like they did Trump.
yeah. Yeah, man, it's just fucking terrible, man. Unfortunately, South and Central America has been a hotbed for Marxism since the late 19th century. Uh, and the Latin Marxist is different than Marxists in general. We know they're all the same, but you know how fucking cruel the Latin Marxists are with their people, man. They're just like they
Mhm.
round people up all the time, and it's just been embedded there for such a long time. uh, I don't know how it'll ever get up fucking uprooted. It's why I tell people all the time, if Puerto Rico ever became independent, they'd become a little communist island in fucking no time flat. As if they aren't already. It's crazy with the shit
They
we
get
saw what
invaded
happened.
in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be a mess. Um, every single American company that's left in Puerto Rico would just fucking pull out. Um,
Mhm.
immediately. Whatever little bit of pharmaceuticals we have left there, which is really nothing, would pull out too. Uh, the Clinton administration killed the pharmaceutical company in Puerto Rico to send it overseas to China
Mhm.
and whatnot. Uh, so yeah, I tell people all the time, yeah, go ahead, fucking the small group of people that are the come mierdas talking about independence and everything like that. I always tell them, yeah, okay, you go ahead and see what happens. The fucking PR, all right, to the island if you guys actually became true independent, and every
Yep.
time they've had an opportunity to become a state, I know my grandfather wanted to see that, and my grandfather, he served as a merchant marine from pre
Mm.
World War II. I'm sorry, uh, to fucking Vietnam, and got activated. For
Mhm.
every freaking thing that he for World War II, Pearl Harbor, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, survived three freaking German U-boat sinkings doing the North Atlantic runs to both England and
Wow.
fucking Russia. Okay. And then he did Korea, and then he did Vietnam, and then he did everything, and then after Vietnam, he finally retired. It's ridiculous, man. He was on a
He
boat,
was
bro.
fast. He was overdue.
Yeah, he was on, bro. This is how lucky he was, right? Okay, and I always it's not a joke in the family, but it was like we felt that a lot of the luck was left for me when I went overseas to Iraq. Whatever
Mhm.
was left, Um, he bro, he remember three ships sunk by German U-boats, right? The
Right.
fourth ship that got sunk by German U-boats, he actually got off the boat in PR and had orders. He was the only one on his boat that had orders to a different ship. Okay,
Oh
and
no.
then he lost all his friends off the coast of Puerto Rico. Germans sank him, and he lived with that forever. Like that was something that he lived with forever. He lost every single one of his friends that he had left. Many of them who had survived. Okay, you know, those other German U-boat freaking attacks during the North Atlantic runs, um, and whatnot. Yeah, I did
God
see
bless
that the
him.
Mexicans were tearing down pride flags, and Muslims in Canada were stomping pride flags.
Oh, is that where that was? I was wondering.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember. Couldn't tell like
yeah,
where.
the fucking jihadis up in Canada were stomping pride flags. But in Mexico, I did see they were ripping out these big. You know how like they had those long ones that like the fucking size of half a building. They were literally
Mhm.
ripping that shit from the bottom up the building and whatnot
Yep.
and stuff.
Not just that they were doing that here.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to see it.
Well, we'll be
It'd
calling
be
out the
great to see
National
it.
Guard, but they calling out like the state police probably almost in any state.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Um, I know it's supposed to be their month, but it's Veteran Month to me. It's also Men's Mental Health what month. So, if you're a
I
veteran, to my
don't even
veteran
understand
brothers
why
and
they get a whole
sisters,
fucking month.
yeah, they get 187 days for their perversion all fucking year. Um, if you're a veteran, my brothers and sisters, call your battle buddies this month. You should be calling them on the regs anyway. But call your battle buddies, check in on them, make sure that they're doing okay, um, and whatnot. It is, like I said, it's
Mhm.
Men's Mental Health Month, and a lot of us fall in that. Uh, Yeah, Sonia. Sonia's saying she loves your reviews.
Uh,
Yeah, his reviews are
Thank you,
great.
Sonia.
They're just fucking awesome. Every Sunday he puts that out. Um, you know, I dropped that in the what do you call it? Obviously, I reposted on my page,
Mhm.
but I drop it in the Discord too. So if you haven't signed up for the Discord, fam, um, Jonathan said that we got what do you call it? The 14th and the 21st available for a movie night. So if you guys want to watch a movie, give us some suggestions and whatnot. You can do all that on the Discord. You know, uh, it's just good to see that shit. Uh, yeah, their pride to me is bullshit. They could take all of that and fucking ram it up one of their twink asses. I could care less. Um,
I mean, pride is
doesn't
a
mean shit
sin
to me.
anyway.
Yeah, definitely is. It's definitely one of the fucking seven deadly sins.
I believe so, right? Yeah,
But they're also, I think, didn't you mention it? Was it the last show you were mentioning on Friday? How they're losing all their money,
they are.
like our fucking companies are just finally abandoning them, stuff like
San
that.
Francisco,
And
and even in the biggest blue states too, like San Francisco, Seattle,
yeah,
um, Portland, Boise. Boise just completely canceled theirs altogether,
yeah.
which
How
is
how that's
funny.
even happening in fucking well, actually happens everywhere. I can't say that. This shit has been going on and been being pushed in our faces
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah,
And like
it's
you said,
funny how
San
you cut
Francisco,
off the funding and suddenly it's not that important.
yeah, nobody gives a shit anymore the minute you start taking the money back. It's just crazy. It's fucking nuts, man. Well, again, that was good to see.
I loved it.
That the pride stuff is it's really good to see just to see people fucking giving it to them like they
Hmm.
deserve, right? They just don't deserve a whole fucking month for depravity and to just be, shaking their fucking cock and balls in front of kids and whatnot,
Yeah,
running around ass
could
naked.
yeah could you do something like remotely like productive or anything with it? It's just like the dumb, what do they do with it? I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, is there any group that has a month that actually like does something with the month?
Uh, who knows, man.
I mean, the only thing that I know that might be doing something productive, but to be honest, I still don't know for sure, is maybe like breast cancer awareness month. That's about it. But like, I don't know any other group that has like a month. I don't know what they do with their
Yeah, but
month. Like, I
but
don't know what Black people do with Black American month or whatever.
but
I
yeah,
don't
but see,
know.
here's the
Or
thing though,
Hispanic
bro.
American month. I don't know what they
Yeah,
do
I
with it.
agree. But here's the thing, bro. They have more than a month. They have 180, like 187 days. Okay, so they get their
True.
month, and then all these other fucking little fag days that they run around and stuff like that, doing their Twinkie shit and stuff like that. So I don't know. I really I couldn't tell you,
Yeah.
man.
They
It's
make
just
it like,
bullshit.
oh, we only like they only have this month to do their stuff. It's like, what are you doing? It seems
Yeah,
like it's just
exactly.
business as usual to me.
Well, they're doing each other, and like I said, it's all drag queen hour for kids, shaking, twerking in front of kids and whatnot. That's part of it. Banging each other at these parades in front of kids and whatnot. Anybody who's bringing your kid to one of these things, your kid ought to be taken away from you. It's
Yeah.
just it's just crazy shit, man. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Uh, but listen, were you paying attention? We both talked about Kentucky, about what's going on. Did you see that old school Democrat? She finally flipped and went Republican.
Well, let's just calm down.
No, but
She
it's
left the Democrat Party,
yeah,
but I know she's probably going to become a Republican.
yeah,
But, just like this, Florida's had a few of those too.
yeah.
People that are just like fed up because mostly because they have absolutely no purpose in
Well,
those
yeah,
states as a
because they're
Democrat at this point. Because if they're like the one person left with like
yeah,
with like 90 state reps against them or whatever like that, your work is not fulfilling at all because
yeah.
you can't get anything done.
It's true.
So they're gonna acquiesce on some things and be like, yeah, I'm for this, I'm
Well,
for
yeah,
maybe gun
they're not
rights
gonna
or this or
fucking
this.
be full
There's
tilt Republicans. I agree with you, but it says
Yeah,
here the
so I'm just
Kentucky State Senator Robin Webb, she ditched the Democrat Party and joined the Republican Party, noting that the state's Democrat Party has increasingly alienated lifelong rural Democrats like her. So if she's in a rural area in Kentucky, she most likely has, you know, more in line with conservatives on certain things than she does with the actual left. She says in a press release from the Republican Party of Kentucky, it was revealed that Webb, who represents Senate District 18, was switching her party affiliation to Republican. Webb also noted that while it might be a cliche, the Democratic Party left her and no longer represented her values. She's probably an old school, like, I don't know if, oh, well, I'll bring that up in a minute. While it's cliche, it's true. I didn't leave the party left me. Webb said in a statement, the Kentucky Democratic Party has increasingly alienated lifelong rural Democrats like myself by failing to support the issues that matter most to rural Kentuckians because they don't give a shit, right? She said Webb, who had
oh,
been the last Democrat in the state Senate representing Kentucky's coal fields, pointed out that she was a mother, rancher, and lawyer who had deep personal and professional roots in the state's coal country. She probably has more fucking line with us than she does with the fucking
well, yeah,
Democrat Party.
they said she was the last rural Democrat.
Yeah,
So, not I don't know what are I mean, Tennessee, was it Kentucky or Tennessee? Oh,
Kentucky.
Kentucky. I'm sure they've got like a couple of like cities, like Louisville or something like
Yeah.
that,
Oh yeah, they do.
that
They
are
do. They
probably
got Boiling
blue.
Green, Louisville. Um,
Um,
the fuck
yeah.
else?
So it's not like she
I
was
know
like the
there's an
last Democrat. I was like, because I saw the article, I
no,
was like,
no.
wait a minute, did they have like
Yeah,
that
no,
much of a
no.
supermajority?
Yeah, no. What she was saying
No,
that the last Democrat in a rural area, essentially, to flip.
right.
Because like I said, if she's from a rural area, she's probably an old fucking school Democrat, right? Because I don't know if you remember, I was gonna bring it up while I was reading it, but I was like, they wanted to finish what I was reading. Do you remember the Reagan Democrats? They were like conservative and shit on most things, and obviously they had their fucking, their liberal shit the entitlement shit was
Like,
really more the things with the welfare and stuff like that that they were, but they were all for welfare
I was gonna
reform
say,
type stuff and everything, and they were actually
I was
war
gonna say they
hawks.
probably weren't. They weren't fiscal conservatives, probably.
Right, but no, there were actually a lot of them were war hawks and stuff like that too. Like a lot of the Republicans, still to the till today. But anyway,
Hmm.
Reagan had the Reagan Democrats, so she might have been her family. I don't know how old she is, but like her family might have been that type of Democrat from back in the day, especially from a rural area in Kentucky. And then,
Yeah,
as you know, and we've harped on the Marxism that is just completely and overtly out in the open now with the Democratic Party. I call them the American Communist
yeah,
Party because that's what they are. Uh,
they are.
so she probably was like, "Yeah, we can't do this anymore," because her constituents are probably red anyway. So it's probably a life saving thing for her too, right? It's probably not just a flip. Pretty sure it's a life saving thing to hold on to her political career because if
Mm-hmm.
she's in a red district, she's not going to survive a primary. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Who knows?
Well, if he survived to this point, I mean, a place like Kentucky, I would have been surprised like any Democrats were left. Um,
Oh,
it's kind of
they
hard to
put
believe.
well, they got fucking Mitch Foreskin Neck McConnell, right? So that ought to tell you.
That just still just amazes me, like how these Republicans who are just like so anti anti-populist, like anti-Trump and everything like that, how they just keep surviving and they just keep hanging on. Like I can't believe they can't find somebody better. It's
Bro, it's just it's all the pork sausage, man. I told you, man. We've
it's
talked
just
about this.
the you
He's
know
he's been very good at bringing money you know, into the state of
hmm
Kentucky for things that they want. So like, even if it's not. By the way, it's not even like a load of stuff, right? Like he's just like his whole career
yeah
was just dedicated to freaking bringing in money to Kentucky and helping the fucking people of Kentucky. We know that's not it, okay?
yeah
Because he's made all of his money off the Chinese and big pharma and the military industrial complex and everything. Um, it's fucking crazy, man. But you're right, man. It's just like he's not representing. He's really not representing what Kentucky's about, at least in today's day and
not at
age.
all. It's crazy. I mean, he's just like all the other states. The Murkowskis, the Collins. It's like how many
Well, we
times did
know
these?
how. Well, we know how Murkowski won. She actually lost.
Oh, because of the ranked choice crap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that
She got the fucking. She got the what do you
yeah?
call it? She got her people in Alaska to
Hmm.
fucking get on board with that and do the ranked choice voting, and then the conservative, okay, who was MAGA, got fucking pushed to the side because of that. And that's how she ran. That's how she was able to get back on, essentially back on the ticket and win, right? Because it got split
You know,
and stuff like that. So they're just
it's
this creepy
ridiculous.
people, man. It is ridiculous. Like, who does ranked choice voting? They got to get rid of that shit. That shit just
They
got to be
do.
fucking made illegal
I
somehow.
mean, and unfortunately, it's unfortunately that's something that has to be corrected from the bottom up
Correct. It has to
because the
happen in the
federal
state.
the
Federal government
because the
can't do
federal
anything about that.
government, yeah, the federal government won't be able to.
Can't do anything about it. They can't.
It's sick. Some of these states have these rules from like freaking like it seems
Yeah.
like century ago, and they just won't change.
Yeah, man. It's just amazing to watch, man. It's because Alaska's a red state, man. It's not like they're not a red state, okay?
Yeah,
But they got to get their shit together and find a way to just get. She has to go. She absolutely has to go. Like I said, they had a really good person, and you know, They got that rank
I
choice shit
mean,
passed, and next thing you know, it just fucked everything up in there. Say what you want about it, it got Sarah Palin fucking kicked to the curb too. She was on top of the ticket as
yeah,
the Republican, and then the Democrat ended up winning.
yep. I mean, it's just as much as I would be sad if we had, a good person in office and they got kicked out for this. We just have to have term limits. We just have to. There's
Yeah,
just
but you,
it just seems like the downside of not having it far outweighs the idea of, like, say, like having a really good senator,
yeah,
and then having them gone after like 2 terms or something like that. It just otherwise, other than that, you get the Mitch McConnells who were in there for 30 or 40 years,
yeah, but it's like we
who
said, man.
literally die in office. That's the kick in the nuts, is that they freaking, he can't even walk right now. So last time I saw him, he was in a freaking wheelchair because he couldn't
Yeah,
even, like,
bro, they,
walk from
bro,
his
they roll
meeting.
that motherfucker out everywhere, man. He's not walking anywhere. That motherfucker, he can't even, bro. He can't even function. Have you seen him
Yeah,
like when there's a camera anywhere near him?
yeah.
Dude,
I
his
mean,
like
it
he's
was
like
a
he's spaced out, man. His brain is completely shot, man.
what was that woman's name from California? Feinstein?
Oh
Was it
yes,
Diane
Diane
Feinstein?
Feinstein. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's sick. It's sickening that's how she went out. It's just so ridiculous.
yep,
You
yeah,
know,
man. They
I
rolled
mean,
her out too,
Biden.
man.
Hell, Biden was another one. Imagine if Biden actually won, what he'd look like right now.
Who
He'd be
knows?
a
He'd probably be
corpse.
the fucking crypt keeper.
He probably would have been gone in the second week. He probably would have stepped down,
Yeah, he would have. He
or
would
he
have
would have
definitely
handed
stepped
that
down and
right over to
handled it.
Kamala.
Oh, absolutely. That was it. That was definitely in the works, man. You know that for a fact that if he was the one that actually ran, okay, they were gonna find a way to get it to just. Well, he wasn't in control of anything anyway. And they would have pushed him over and handed that shit over to Kamala in a heartbeat. No questions asked. She would have been the fucking a president. No questions
Yeah.
asked. I mean, shit, we were worried at the end of the year, last year, that they were gonna fucking, you know, find a way to pull out. People were. I said I don't think. I remember I didn't fucking think so, but that was like of the mind. Well, anything is possible. Um, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Blondie, we're happy to have you. Blondie's gonna be on with us on Wednesday show with Jake from Steak Farm. He's the Jake Ryan, the owner of Jake Steaks, and it's gonna be should be a good episode. So you guys want to come in and check that out on Wednesday. Uh, if you go to Jake Steaks, I'll have all the stuff in the description for Wednesday .com. But if you go visit that now, you can buy beef and whatnot in bulk. I think he has honey. He has dry products too. I think I saw honey, tallows and whatnot. So he puts people together with ranchers and farmers as well, so that you can get stuff and whatnot. So we're gonna have him on Wednesday. This Friday we got Lisa Angelina, who's hanging with us a little bit earlier. She's gonna be on with us on Friday with Red Day and I. Um, Next Monday, we don't have anybody next Monday, right? No, he
Not
might have
yet.
told me to. Do we have
Blondie,
anybody?
yes, I did see Kamala was down in Australia, and it was another epic word salad.
Yeah, I know she's just the worst, man.
It was
She's
like it
the absolute
she it
worst.
was almost like she was trying to rhyme. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fucking. It's just hearing her talk, man.
It's just a joke. My God.
Yeah, she's a joke, man. It's just I wish she would. I wish we can get them to just go away, but you know how that is. It's just crazy. Um, well, the DOJ is starting to open up cases and whatnot, but we'll get into that in a minute. Did you see this? It's not like spreading all over the country, but it still fucking affects people.
Oh,
Salmonella on the rise here in the U.S., man. That is just fucking nuts in today's day. I mean, you can get it from anything really, but
salmonella.
yeah, bro, there was an outbreak, man. It's salmonella
How do
cases
you,
linked to fucking cucumbers climbed to 123 states. An outbreak of salmonella poisoning linked to recalled cucumbers has expanded, sickening 32 more people and sending 7 more to the hospital
here's a
across 23 states.
here's a dumb question. How do you get salmonella from a cucumber?
Well, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna read a little bit more. It says the CDC's
Like,
update brings the total number of sickness up from 68 last month
oh my
to
God.
100 currently. I know. And hospitals, they don't make me laugh, man. And hospitalizations up from 18 to 25. The agency also highlighted a dozen companies that grew, distributed, or sold tainted cucumbers, like they were ramming it up each other's
It's
whatever.
true.
The produce was shipped to many states, including California, Arizona, Texas, Michigan, Montana, North Carolina, Colorado, Kansas, New York, Massachusetts, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, Alaska, and the Canadian provinces of Alberta and British Columbia. Salmonella, yeah, let me see. I read it. It was so the Sunfed's the name of the company. Where are they from? I think they're from Arizona. Huh. Where's Sunfed from?
It's crazy. I don't know.
They
You
identified
know, like,
7 clusters.
is
I
it?
know, man.
Oh my gosh. To me, when I heard that, I'm thinking that has to be intentional. Like it has to be like somebody contaminated specifically, like cases, like before they went out, getting to get shipped.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't
I don't know how you
understand
get
that.
fucking I don't get the whole salmonella from a cucumber. Uh
No, like even if you didn't seal it properly, like I don't understand how salmonella gets from that. Like
yeah.
I understand that veggies go bad,
Yeah.
but
I know,
salmonella?
man. I just like, it's true. It's like fucking when I think of salmonella, I just,
Well, we all think
uh
chicken
yeah, we think
because that makes sense. Like,
chicken or
uncooked
pork,
chicken. Yeah,
uncooked pork
something
and stuff like uncooked foods in general, right? That's how you think of
like meat,
salmonella.
but meats
Meats in
usually.
particular.
Usually it's a
Yeah.
meat,
Well, you
not
never know where
frickin',
you never know
radishes or something.
that cute those cucumbers could have came in contact with meat.
Well, but even then, even if it did,
Yeah, it
worst
shouldn't
case
be
scenario,
salmonella.
not salmonella. You think something well worse probably.
Shouldn't be salmonella.
Yeah, not salmonella. Maybe I'm
Uh,
not sure what some yeah something else contagious.
I know.
Um, my God.
Oh man. Yeah, I just again, these are things that fucking but I had to read that out so that people know what states these freaking cucumbers being recalled from and were sent to. And of course, one was
You
sent
know
to
what?
Base Blondie. She got it.
Well, but you know what though? Here's an idea. It could. What if it's this? What if it's something they're putting either in the fertilizer or in the spray to, I don't know, like something they're putting on it to like either uh, ripen it or something like just some additive that's like doing that. Like
I don't know. Bro, all I know is like I said, man, fucking these are things that just like it's just befuddling, right? Like it just when you thinking about this shit, you're like, why is this, bro? I don't remember all the. Listen, I'm sure it happens all the time, right? But I, for the life of me, don't remember seeing this type of stuff constantly in the news in the 1990s and early 2000s, bro. I don't remember that. Maybe I just wasn't because I wasn't paying attention a lot with certain things because I was busy fucking partying and whatnot, and I was in the military at the time. I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
it didn't. Well, you know what? I mean, a lot of it because we weren't getting
Right.
a lot of our stuff
Right. We
from
weren't getting
other
saturated with shit from.
countries.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't getting stuff from other countries. Like
Oh,
back in the 80s and
100%, man.
90s, we weren't getting for it this way. We weren't getting our chicken. Like now they raise the chickens here, they freeze it, send it to
S-
China, process
And
it,
then
and then send it
they
back.
send it back to us. Right. And then we pay for it. Right. I know. Yeah, yeah,
What?
no.
We weren't doing that in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
We weren't importing nearly as much food as we do now.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jay saying it's probably from the fecal matter. The salmonella. The
Well,
cucumbers got
obviously, that's what I'm saying.
contaminated.
Something. They're storing
Yeah.
it next to something else in the
Yeah,
warehouse.
Jay, we're not just saying that it's just from undercooked food. We're just saying that that's what we think of when we think of salmonella. Most people think that it hits that.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh, Yeah. So it's just freaking crazy, man. It's crazy. It's just nuts. It's just nuts, man. I just figured I'd bring that up. But uh the DOJ, again, one of the things that I've been telling you, and again, they're not doing enough of this. Uh but this follows up with the DEI shit, the executive orders. This is what I want to see. And they're doing this what do you call this? As the DOJ opens up a civil rights investigation into US University over its DEI framework. The Department of Justice has opened an investigation into University of Virginia, which is it's a fucking a leftist state, for discriminating against students based on the illiberal principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion like that. The DOJ confirmed to America First Legal on Thursday that it's launched an investigation into how UVA is actively operating programs that discriminate based on race, sex, ethnicity, national origin, and other impermissible immutable characteristics, according to the AFL. The school has allegedly been discriminating. We know this, that all schools are doing this based on DEI, despite a Supreme Court ruling against
Oh
affirmative
yeah.
action and executive order. I remember that when finally the fucking Supreme Court got some balls with that. So yeah, they're probably again, it's probably affecting, again with the whole thing with freaking, you know, with white students and stuff like that. They make them fucking pay through the nose and stuff like that just to get in.
To get in or just do anything or grading and who knows or
Yeah.
maybe it's just or couldn't it just be the actual university's hiring practices.
Oh man, well we all know
Um,
that, but
all
it's
or
just
all of the above probably.
it's probably all of the above, right? Like because we know that the American Collegiate Institute is absolutely and completely and totally fucking gone. Um, it's just there. I mean, there are, believe it or not, there are some schools that are still good, that are like not fucking wrapped up in this shit, but it's few and far between.
Hmm.
And of course, we don't hear about them. They don't push those schools to kids in school, and whatnot. So like, it's just. But even then, there's always a fucking touch of Marxism on all of these campuses, even the ones that aren't as Marxist as others. Um,
Hmm.
what do you call it? University of Virginia, definitely. That's a major college, so you know for a fact that they're still on that DEI shit. And I hope but again, I hope the DOJ
Yeah.
fucking just starts ripping these schools and whatnot. Anybody who's doing any of this shit, and like you said, like the article said, going back to the affirmative action, the Supreme Court has already ruled on it. So if you're doing this DEI shit, that's fucking over, one demographic over another. It's just crazy.
Yeah. We'll take
So
them all down.
yeah,
Take them
just
all down.
yeah, I'm all for it, man. Just keep fucking ramping away. Uh, we got to fix a lot of that. Well, there's a lot of shit, obviously. Uh, we got to fix.
Yeah. It goes on and on and on.
Yeah, man, it's just nonstop, man. Mac, Maxine fucking the Gremlin Waters is in the news. Her campaign, at least, her older campaign is fucking in the news.
Yep. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
Bring it
I
on.
saw that. I saw that. Saw this. You saw this? The 2020 campaign for corrupt Democrat Maxine Waters fined for
Hmm.
violating election finance laws. Finally, the FEC fined citizens for Waters 68,000, which is nothing, for violating campaign finance laws. Democrats should have fucking been arresting people for all the bullshit that campaign did. Democrat Representative Maxine Waters is one of the most corrupt members of Congress who has repeatedly violated election laws, yet she barely gets a slap on the wrist. None of them do. Citizens for
Oh,
Waters had accepted excessive campaign contributions from 7 people, totaling 19 grand in 2019 and 20. Investigation found despite the maximum legal individual contribution being capped at 2,800. The probe also revealed that Maxine Waters' campaign made 4 prohibited cash disbursements that were each in excess of $100, totaling 7,000. I mean, it's like it's really like nothing, but it's still something, right? Because it's still breaking the
yeah.
law. Maxine Waters gets fined, but President Trump gets indicted on 34 felony counts by Democrat. Yeah, it's wrong.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just wrong. And then, this, right? People forget about this. There's a big one. In addition to the 2020 election law crimes, Maxine Waters paid her own daughter well over 1.2 million in campaign cash since
Yep.
2003 to run a slate mailer operation. That's that alone.
It's just
I
so
mean,
freaking frustrating.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's going to be a press conference tomorrow, and she's going to come out. She's going to be like, "This is all
Yeah.
politically motivated, and they're racist, and they're sexist, and they're this, and
Yeah.
they're this." It's going to be, the fucking no accountability.
Yeah. None
And
because
I
she's
mean, who
black.
knows? I mean, maybe it will still go through. I don't know. But do you honestly think like the freaking Republicans are going to hold their feet to the fire? Like, and I don't
Yeah.
even know what they can do. They probably need like a 2/3 majority to kick her out anyway.
Yeah, I know. And Base
And they
Blondie's
won't get
right,
that.
right? If you remember when Omar Navarro ran against her out in California, okay,
You know,
he's got a federal trial coming up for misappropriation of campaign funds.
right.
Yeah,
He does.
it's exactly what Conserve just said. Rules for thee, but not for me. They all protect each other. He's absolutely correct.
Um,
You know, but again, right? Like there are other people, but it happens to our side, right? So like our guys, we don't stick up for one another. And I don't care about that, right? So like if someone's corrupt on our side, hem them up. We say it all the time. I could give a rat's ass, okay, whether
mhm.
they have a R or a D in front of their name. If they're fucking corrupt and you find that they're corrupt, just fucking take them away, right? Like I don't really care. Yeah, I hope
I
so
want them all
too,
to go.
Blondie. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I want them all to fucking just
Yeah,
go.
I think that again, what would fix all this? Term limits.
Yeah, man. They never
They
get,
get
but
there, they're there for too long, and they get cocky, or bored, or both.
yeah,
And eventually they're, well, how can I get more? How can I get more?
yeah,
It's never enough, and that's what happens, because usually you don't see this in like brand new senators or brand new reps.
right.
It's usually the people that have been there for like 10, 12 years or longer. They just, and that's the thing, they once they've been there for so long, it's almost like they can't do any wrong. They're protected by the machine. They're protected by their donors. The
Oh,
people,
big time.
their handlers. They're protected by all of that. And
Big
even
time,
if
man.
they and then they're just protected by the simple name. They're just protected by simple name recognition. When their name is on the ballot, people will just vote for them just because they know who they are.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's the
No,
only reason
man.
they vote for him. Oh, I know that name. That's how Murkowski keeps getting up. Even getting votes at all.
Right.
Oh,
Well, again, that rank choice shit really helped her along the way too, because she actually, like I said, she had
yeah,
lost, and now she's back in, and like you were saying, once they get their hooks in, and the hooks are actually into them, and they're getting a taste, then that's it, they're done, um, and it's easier to fix initially with someone who's in the House of Representatives because it's only 2 years, right? So like
yeah,
you can hold them accountable faster, but again, you have to hold them accountable because once they get past and they get that second term and then they're into that third term, once they're like complete incumbent, been in for a couple of years, forget about it. It's
yeah.
fucking hard to get them out. It's just they're just like roaches, man. They just really do. They turn the
Mhm,
lights on, but they're still there. They just don't fucking go anywhere, man. And like you said, with the
mhm,
Senate, it's even harder because they got an actual 6 year term. In 6 years, they could do a lot of damage in 6 years of
yeah.
their term, as we
It
see, right?
is.
We watch it all the time.
Yeah. I
We
mean, can
see
you
the
imagine
damage that they
just?
do.
I mean, even 2 terms for a senator is like, God, it's
Yeah,
just fucking long enough.
that's a long time,
That's
man.
that's a long time. I mean, 12 years. Like it shouldn't be. It. That's the problem. Is that the part of that is the motivation to even just get to that point
Yeah,
is the idea that this is where I'm just gonna do for the rest of my life. It wouldn't be that. It would just be such a different mindset if it was only like, I'm only going to be here for 6 years and then I got to go back to the real world,
yeah.
you know,
I got you,
or I got to
Blondie.
go find another way to, I got to find a way to make money after the 6 years over. And I'm not saying they couldn't still be corrupt. We see people leave office and they're still corrupt as shit. But it's just a matter of they're not going to be on the fucking public payroll. Um, and I just think the longer they're in there, the longer the more exposure they have to just corruption and just payoffs and just it's like every step along the way just gets worse and worse and worse for so many of these. I'm not saying every single one of them is corrupt, but
Uh,
goddamn, it seems like
the, the, the damn
eventually,
sure
yeah,
the damn shit close to it, bro.
yeah. It's
It
not like
definitely
most of them
seems.
aren't.
Yeah, it definitely seems like fucking right. It just seems like they all are, man. Um,
In one way
and
or
they really
another,
are.
just in
Yeah,
different degrees. They all let us down eventually. There's
yeah,
a
they do.
half-life. It's like we
They
need to
do.
get rid of them before that half-life is up. Say no. 6 if it's just 6 years, it's just 6 years. And if you have them whining about that's not enough time to do shit, well that's the all the more reason to revamp the whole system because it shouldn't take fucking 12 years to put a bill together that, might get passed,
Right.
or something like that. It should be something very simple.
Yeah,
God knows they can hold a quick vote when they want to vote for a pay raise.
it's true. Blondie, I sent you
Those,
that. Check your Instagram. I sent you that article. Yeah,
what's
man. They
bad?
just no, no. I was sending. Blondie asked me. Oh, the AI in the bill, in the big beautiful bill. Yeah, the big
Um,
beautiful bill has a lot of things that are not so beautiful.
there's not.
Obviously,
Yeah,
none of these
I'm
bills ever
aware of
do.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
we do got a
Is there
lot of
things that
wins
are
in
good
there.
in there? Some.
Yeah. We got some things. We got some things that they're trying to get codified from his executive orders and whatnot, which are important and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in there. I agree with all of you guys. We need just like single issue fucking bills. That's the way it really should be. Wish it was. You know, I really do. I really wish. I wish we can just do single issue bills, and I'll take a line item veto too to go along with that. He may have talked about it. Massey may have talked about it. He may have absolutely. He may have. You know. But the AI thing, you've heard us talk about it at length. Um, it's scary, and they got to regulate the shit out of that in general. Period. Otherwise, it's just gonna fucking go crazy. We're all gonna be like the damn. Uh, it's just nuts. It's absolutely fucking bananas. Here, I'll bring it up for you guys. Here you go. It says the big beautiful bill includes billions for government AI programs. That's a no-no. Congress's gigantic reconciliation bill, which passed the U.S. House last month, includes billions of dollars for artificial intelligence and machine learning program investments, or AI. The bill sets landmark goals for implementation of AI in government agencies, defense preparation, and social services tracking. The legislation allocates more than $1 billion in available funds until 2029 for procurement of artificial intelligence technology to combat drug trafficking at the United States. They're making this shit sound great, but northern, southern, and maritime borders. The government will allocate 500 million to replace legacy technology systems at the Commerce Department with AI. The investment will continue until 2034. This is what the government is saying. The aim for the investment is to improve the cybersecurity posture of federal information technology systems through modernized architecture, automated threat detection, and integrated artificial intelligence solutions. Fucking Skynet, guys, according to the bill. Several defense projects are expected to get upgrades through the increased in AI investment. These investments include 400 million to use AI for naval shipbuilding, 150 million for AI-powered drones, and 124 million to the Department of Defense's Test Resource Management Center to further develop AI capabilities. AI is also set to receive 200 million investment boost until 2029 to expedite the audits of its financial statements. Yeah. This investment comes after the Pentagon failed its seventh audit in a row in 2024. Yeah, that don't even get me started on the fucking DOD in there. Never whatever. Additionally, AI is expected to help reduce and recoup improper payments made through Medicare. So it's essentially the fucking Patriot Act for AI. It is definitely Terminator, Rosie. It is without a doubt 100% fucking Skynet.
Insane.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, but they gotta, it would be nice if freaking Hegseth can help them pass an audit. I know he's cracking down on a lot of shit, so we will see where that comes. I know that the trannies got to, what is it, either June 6th or June 9th to fucking go to turn in their
Hmm.
resignations, or they're gonna get booted. So that'll be,
That's
yeah,
going to be a mess right there. I'm telling you,
it is.
that's
That
going to
is
be a
just,
mess.
yeah, that is a
Unfortunately.
mess. That is. It's a mess, man.
Well, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna resign. I think it's gonna be like
They're gonna get dishonorable discharges, is what they'll force them out. They'll force them out. Trust me,
they're
Pete Hegseth
gonna.
will force them out.
They're gonna. I just have a feeling that it's literally they're gonna make the biggest spectacle out of it. It's not
Oh, they
just.
will. Oh, of
It's not
course.
just. I don't mean like just on paper they're gonna kick them out. I mean literally like they're gonna like take over a building or something. Like they're literally gonna show exactly how
Oh,
unhinged they really are.
yeah. Go ahead and do
You
that
know.
shit on a military installation. I
I'm
fucking,
just telling you. And then you're gonna
it's
have
a different
literally.
day and age.
But but then you're going to have brothers who don't necessarily want to do that to, you know, their compatriots. That's the problem I have with it. Or not, I have it with it. I'm just saying it's going to be like an issue. You know,
Yeah.
you might even have You might even have sympathizers. I wouldn't
No,
be
I'm pretty sure
surprised.
you have I'm pretty sure you have sympathizers for sure. There's still a remnant of that DEI mindset that is still left in the DoD. Okay, in every branch of service. A lot of those
Hmm.
people were put in place, going back to Obama. All right, so it's
Yep.
just it is a deep mess that has to absolutely be uprooted, and it doesn't happen. Um, it just doesn't happen. Uh,
Just nervous about it.
yeah, I am nervous.
I just, it's not that I'm nervous that I'm nervous like, oh my God, I'm just nervous in the sense that it's just going to be, I don't want it to be like extraordinarily ugly, you know?
Yeah, I
Like, I
don't
don't want
mind
it to
if
be
it
a
is.
stain. I don't want it to be a stain on the military or on Hexith or, I kind of just want them to go away. It's not going to go like that. I know.
Yeah, it's not gonna go like that. I agree. There's gonna be fucking, there's gonna be not rioting, but there'll be protests and whatnot. But anybody,
Hmm.
some people will see it as a stain. I don't. I see it as do whatever you got to do to get these fuckers out. They're a drain on
Um,
resources in the military. They
mhm.
cannot deploy. Um, like over 50. They just can't. The minute they go through this shit, they can't deploy. They're undeployable. It's just as far as readiness, they're not. So and I know
Well,
that the Supreme Court has already said that they can. The administration can't start booting them. So, uh,
kind of
they
surprised that they came to
yeah,
that. So that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so there might be some fucking, like you said, there'll definitely be some, what do you call it, some backlash, probably from within, with, like you said, with some of the sympathizers. Not most of them. I think that
Hmm.
I think that it's gonna go over a lot smoother than probably people think, but there will be some rough edges on it, man. It's not gonna be completely fucking smooth sailing. I don't think so. There's definitely gonna be rough
No.
waters, man. They're definitely
Yeah.
gonna hit rough waters with it. But I'm all here for it, man. Fuck it. That's what we voted for. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We just it's all about the warfighter, man.
Yeah.
And readiness and being in the mindset of just to fucking go at a moment's notice, just go and fuck shit up when we really need to go fuck some stuff up,
Yeah.
you know?
I know. I mean, it's just the same thing as like if someone was on fucking, as like a diabetic or something like that. You can't have them, you can't afford to have all these people with like these like severe ailments or something like
Yeah,
that,
but well,
out there in the
I'll tell you a little
force.
story. My son developed type 1 diabetes while he was in the Marine Corps, and they let him stay in
Hmm.
because he was functioning just fine. Like, he wasn't functioning fine when he was falling apart, right? Because type 1
Right.
diabetes, on my side of the family, my mother had it, my biological mother had it, and it runs in some of the other members, like my grandparents and whatnot. But since my biological mom had it, it skipped me and fucking hit him and stuff like
Right.
that. And I think his mother's side too, it runs in her side too. So he was just doomed no matter what. and it hit him when he was in his fucking 20s, man. And the Marine Corps let him stay in. Like he fought, he had to fight, but he was just so good. His unit actually stepped up for him. His sergeant major, his company commander and whatnot, they stepped up for him because he was just a good Marine and he was really good at what he
Yeah.
does and stuff like that, right? And then when the time came, he finally, I think he did a total of 8 years. They let him reenlist, and then I think he did 8 years. I want to say it was eight, and then that was when he decided to, pull the pin, and he was like, "Dad, it just, whatever it is, what it is." And he's like, fucking, because he developed it while he was on active duty, he's taken care of, you know,
Yeah.
and whatnot. But there were things like that. Shit, you couldn't get in if you had asthma. You couldn't get in if you had asthma. If you were trying to fucking get in, I remember plenty of people at MEPS, okay, who were going through MEPS with me in the 1990s and then again in the early 2000s who had asthma and
Oh, no way.
fucking, it was controlled, like completely controlled. One of my buddies who had like, well, he ran track with me in high school. He was a fucking chronic asthmatic, but man, he was one of the fastest dudes in the country at the time. It was incredible. Okay, he would literally take 2 shots of his pump. Okay, before on a track day and be fine the whole. He
Uh-huh.
just, but like outside of that, when he had an asthma attack, it was like the worst in school and stuff like that. But on a track, he was fantastic, and the Marine Corps let him in. He was able to get
You know what?
he was able to get a waiver.
In a similar circle, did you hear about the story coming out of Israel today with with their servicemen
Mm-mm.
updates?
No, no, I missed. I missed.
Apparently, they made I guess it was a decision, and they're no longer accepting female applicants for
No shit.
combat. Um,
I thought
and
they
it
got
was
rid of that.
basically,
I
yeah,
thought they got rid of that years ago. Really? I guess I thought they
no,
had stopped that.
there were they are you kidding me? Israeli was like they had some of the toughest women I've ever seen in the like military.
No, no, I
Um,
know that, but I had
but
thought, and I guess I was wrong on it. I just had thought that the IDF had taken them out of combat roles, but I was wrong on that. I was probably thinking about another country that took women out of combat roles a long time ago. They had them in it,
maybe
so I don't know why I was thinking it was the
I just
IDF.
saw
But
that story today
so
somewhere
so just
that
now
they made that decision.
they're taking women out of
Yep,
combat roles, not
non-combat. Yep.
yeah. Well, think about
Hmm.
what Pete Hegseth is doing, right? He changed the what do you call it? The physical fitness standards for essentially you have two sets of physical fitness standards. You have if you're we talked about it. I forgot how long ago we
Yeah.
talked about it. If you're in a combat arms role, you have to meet certain benchmarks. Okay,
Yep.
that's gonna phase a lot of women out of the what do you call it?
Oh yeah.
Uh, the combat arms roles, like the infantry and stuff like that. A lot of women are gonna get
Yep.
phased out of that. The women that are in there, it's not heavily. The Marine Corps did a study. Okay, they literally did an actual study. They had fucking a mixed unit, okay, and an all male unit, and the mixed unit failed repeatedly, 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 and the
Yeah.
all male unit just absolutely wrecked shit in all the testing and everything like that. Uh, so like the evidence is there. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Blondie's like she's like women never should be in a combat roles, and they are inadvertently as pilots and stuff like that. That's been going on since for a long time now, especially since the first Gulf War, Desert Storm.
Yeah.
We had women who were fucking. I can tell you right now, one of my favorite people in Iraq was a female helicopter pilot, um, an Apache pilot that was just fucking full tilt, man. We called whenever we needed freaking air support. She was on station like in no time flat, man. And she wrecked shit, right? And her helicopter actually eventually got fucking shot down. And we had the QRF our asses out to go get her, and we went fucking top speed to go save her, and stuff like that. So, women have been there for a long time, but ground
Hmm.
pounding and stuff like that, that's a whole different fucking
It's
animal.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's
yeah,
tough, especially when you know that the physical aspect is just different, or it's
yeah,
just their abilities are different, and it sucks. But
yeah,
it's just the way it is. I mean, they're coming to a head with that just in sports.
yeah,
You know, it's like I'm so tired of like the whole argument about what do you call it? The whole the biological men versus facing women, and it's like I don't. I want to just throw my hands up and just be like, you know what? Fucking everybody play everybody, and that's it.
yeah.
fuck the WNBA. Just have the NBA. Anybody's eligible. If you're physical enough to do it, do it.
Yeah, but they're not,
No
bro.
quotas or anything like, oh, you have to have at least one woman. No, no.
Yeah, bro. But
Tennis, everybody against everybody. Tennis wise,
it,
no. Women's tennis, men's tennis, bullshit. Just everything, and
yeah,
then we'll see
it'll
what they'll see.
fucking
What's what?
yeah, it'll never happen, and you see, bro. It'll never happen because every time these fucking like I don't know, anytime let's
I
say
know,
the women's soccer team plays a 15
I
year
know it's
old
going to be
a
a
group of
mess.
15-year-old boys, they get fucking stomped. Okay.
Yeah,
Anytime
I
they fucking
understand.
play actual men, they get stomped. Same thing with the WNBA girls. They could go up against a high school team and get stomped. Okay, a high school boys team will absolutely fucking wreck them, be dunking on them and all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
and by the way, it's not that there aren't women in these sports that have like significantly good talent, and they're like, wow, they're
Oh
fucking
god.
incredible to fucking watch, but not against. They're not just not doing it again. Even Serena Williams, who was literally the best fucking women's tennis player for fucking 20 years. Okay,
Yep.
she was in an interview and said, and they were talking like once there was somebody asked her, I forgot who she was, at one of the late night shows.
Yeah. What
Um,
stupid questions?
yeah, asked him
Yeah,
about
I know.
playing like a certain. She went into it. She was like, I could go up against so and so, okay, and I would lose fucking 6-0, 6-0, 6-0 in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That's how fast it would go. Hey, essentially, she was saying I could go up against the 130th ranked man in tennis, and I would get fucking destroyed.
yeah. She
Okay,
could.
and she was honest about it. She was like, I get wrecked. She was like, who are we kidding? Why? No, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? She's like, yeah. She was like, whatever. She's like, no fucking
Yeah.
disrespect to Billie Jean and all that other shit, but why would I want to do that? Sonia, thank you for
I
coming to hang out with
remember.
us. Um,
I remember I was talking to somebody a long,
we
long time
talked
ago.
about that. That was one of Sonia. That was one of the first things we talked about, hon. Early on. I know you got to
Um,
get going. We talked about that early on in the show. That was one of the first things. The first topic we hit was that fucking jihadi fuck bastard. Uh,
yeah.
be well, Sonia. All right, thank
Hi,
you for coming
Sonia.
in and hanging with us. Um, that sucks, but we did talk about it. Promise you, we did. Uh, it just 'cause that shit just irked me, and I went on a little rant on that in the beginning because I'm not gonna prop
I
up any fucking jihadi goat fuckers.
I remember I was having an argument with somebody about the tennis, about just that whole thing. I was like, let's just face them. They were trying to say that women deserve as much money as the men, and I remember telling them, how come they don't play 5 sets?
Yeah,
Simple
yeah,
question, and they just didn't
that's
know what
true.
to say. I'm like,
Yeah, well,
well,
why
they
don't they
only
play?
play best 2 out of 3. Why don't they play best
Right.
3 out of 5? I mean, like, that's the biggest reason not to give them equal money right there. It's nothing to do with who's better or whatever. It's like they're getting paid less work. They should get paid 60% of what the men get automatically
Yeah,
because you're only getting like 60% of product.
yeah,
Their matches are like so much quicker.
it's
It's
so
like
true.
I don't even know any other sport that they do that.
I know. Rogue Nina, you're right. I think the Autobots and Decepticons, the Transformers should just fucking compete against each other. Uh,
You know what? They should. And honestly, you know what? Just think of it. Just think of the whole. If they just made a third division,
but I
okay,
but I told you what happened with
they
that,
could be gold. They could have gold medal after gold medal because they'd have no record books. Dude,
bro.
just do it and run the table. I personally wouldn't have a problem someone walking out of the Olympics with fucking 25 gold medals for like the best 5 fingered tit wearing dude or something like that. I wouldn't care as
Okay,
long as you're not knocking women out of the competition.
I agree
That's
100%.
all I care about.
But this is what happened. Okay, when that was fucking brought to the Transformers. Okay,
What
during the
happened?
Leah Thompson thing during the 2024 Olympics, when he was trying to fucking swim against women in the Olympics and go to the Olympic
Uh-huh.
trials and everything like
Oh
that,
God.
and the
Yep.
international swimming told them, "Go fuck yourself. You're not going to. You're not allowed." Okay, what they did say to all of the Transformers was, we will.
Oh
You
no.
know what? If you guys want to compete, we will make a fucking separate, okay, a separate thing for you guys. Did How many people showed up? You think, Scott? How many think?
Hardly anybody.
No one.
Guess what? How many people showed up to the first women's baseball game?
Yeah,
Not that many.
yeah,
You
but
think they
that's
were
what I'm
selling
saying.
out Yankee State? Think they were selling
No,
out
no, no,
Yankee
no.
Stadium
I'm not talking
back
about.
in the
I'm not talking
40s?
about viewers. I'm not talking about viewers. I'm talking about athletes. Not one athlete fucking agreed to that. Why? Because they want to compete against women. It is, bro. These dudes are like 1,000 in fucking ranking against regular
Mhm.
men. So the only
I re-
reason they want to do this is because they just want to fucking compete against. They just want to compete and beat women because they can't beat other men,
mhm.
right? Like these
They
boys
don't
that
even
we've
want to
been
compete with
watching.
they don't even want to compete with each other.
Right. They won't even compete against each other. They just want to fucking continue to compete
They want
against
to
women.
roll against men. I
Yeah,
mean, excuse
like
me,
what we've
against
been
women.
seeing with all these boys winning track meets on the West Coast this whole week. It's
Mhm.
been in the
Yep.
news. With that kid from California and the kids up in the two boys up in fucking Washington State. Okay, that just continuously beat girls because they can't beat boys. They're not. I was watching the race. I literally watched that 400 race, right? And to the deceptive to people who don't know track and never ran or coached, okay, and stuff like that, it looks like both these boys are having a hard time. They're not. They're not even fucking breathing hard, okay, on the track beating these girls. All right. And those same boys cannot run against any kid their age, okay? The times that they're putting out, all right, they will get absolutely dusted by like fucking 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fastest high school kid right now, I forgot where that kid's from. Damn, what's his name? He runs like a fucking 44. He actually made the Olympic team in
I hate
2024.
I hate to say it. As much as I've seen these girls like over the weekend, they just refuse to take the stand, the medal stand or something like that. It's gonna take them all coming together and then just refusing to compete. Period.
I agree with
And
that, but
force them to have. I'm not saying like for the whole season or something like that. It's gonna happen a couple times. You literally force them to just go out there and compete against themselves, and you
yeah,
force them to have a tranny only division.
yeah, I agree. I've been saying that, but also I evolved a little bit on that only on the high school level. Every other level, I've been saying that they should be. It's gonna take because on the college level and obviously the what do you call it, the professional level, okay, there's a lot of money involved, right? So when you start hurting their pockets, the colleges, and then like on the fucking professional level, if people are not going to swimming events, right? Like the top names are not going to swimming events, they're not going to track and field events or whatever fucking sport it is, okay, because they don't want to compete against men. These events start losing money because what happens is when people pull out, then the people are like, well, I'm not going to spend money to go fucking watch this because so and so's not going to be there. I wanted to go there to see them. You know what I'm saying? It's because they're
Where
the
it has to be.
fastest at whatever they do. So, but on the high school level, I understand it, right? These young girls that are getting absolutely fucking trashed by these boys, okay, and getting outshined. Well, not outshined to people like me because the girls I think are still the best. All right, these boys are fucking trash because they can't run against other boys. All right. But these girls are trying to get a lot of them are trying to get scholarships to go to colleges and stuff like that. And because this DI
They're
shit,
not.
okay,
They're
is
not.
so fucking
Going
yeah,
out
but this
there
is what
and
I'm saying.
going out
I
there and
I
losing is not going to get them scholarships.
I agree. I don't disagree with any of that sentiment, bro. But what I'm trying to say is these girls in their mindset, okay, because they're stuck in this fucking stupid cycle in places like California and Washington. All right. They're deliberately doing this to these girls to fuck them over, right? And they don't care
Yeah,
about them. They don't care about their chances. They talk about we're for women and women's rights and all this other stuff. Okay. But fucking I like that. Conservatives, I would make a league for trannies and can tran wreck. But it's tough for a teenage girl, man. It really, really is fucking tough in high school. Like I said, on the college level, and the what do you call it, the pro levels of sports, it's gonna take big names to fucking look at Riley Gaines, right? Riley Gaines was good
mhm.
enough, okay? You look at her collegiate career, she probably could have went to the Olympic trials in 2024 if she stayed swimming, okay, and maybe had a chance at actually making the Olympics. She chose not to. She chose to use her platform to fucking fight against this shit. That's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take big names
Well,
saying, "All right, whatever." It's because it's
but
gonna take
a
people
one.
losing.
But I'm saying one name. I don't care how big the name is. It's not going to take one name to just fix it. It's going to
No,
take them
that's not what I
all.
mean. No, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, it's going to take, you're right. It's not going to take one person like Riley Gaines, right? Riley Gaines is only
Right.
one person. What I'm saying is it's going to take a bunch of women, okay, standing up that are top names that are fucking tired of the shit, and they're going to lose out. The initial people who are fighting this are going to lose out. That is just no matter what fight. whatever we're fighting, whether it's men fighting something or women fighting something, the initial people who are up in the front that are actually fighting this shit, they're the ones that always lose out, right? Because they're
Yeah.
like, they're leading the fucking charge, and people are just hands off, and they're not touching them. They're not getting sponsorships and all this other shit because they're afraid, right? But it's gonna take. It's all about money. When you start wrecking money, okay, then that's when people are like, okay, we're tired of it. But that's gonna take a hellacious fight,
Mhm.
man, and that isn't a fight that
Well,
you and
that's
I can
what I'm
do.
saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. They all got to come together.
Yeah, they do.
That's
They
just
do.
what I said at the beginning.
No, but what I was trying to say is that it's not a one person. We're saying the same thing. Is that it's not a one person thing. I'm saying that it's going to take people losing out. The people who are leading
I
the charge.
again,
Those
all I'm saying too, they're going to lose out.
yeah, they are. They it
But I mean, they're
it
losing it, but they're losing anyway. So it's like it's unfortunately it's just gonna you're gonna have to keep working on the culture, and eventually, hopefully, enough girls will get pissed off about it. Maybe if they see what, and if they see maybe like what's going on, it's gonna take several cycles of this shit,
yeah,
and
they
then
on
the next group of 15-year-olds are gonna say fuck this,
yeah. Well, on the
because
high school
eventually
level
enough
they
will be
punish
enough.
these girls, right?
Hmm.
So like all those girls that fucking I know in California because it happened earlier in the year, especially in track. There was some, and it happened up in Washington State too. There was a girl in the shot put who she just refused to fucking shot against a
Yep,
boy who was fucking
yep,
destroying them all. Okay, and she ended up getting punished outside of track. Her school punished her and everything. So like these kids are fucking terrified. All right. They're in a fear state, all right, because they're afraid, right? That they're gonna get fucking punished. And like you just said, it's gonna take a bunch of 15-year-olds on the high school level. We know what needs to be done in college and on the pro level with shit, okay, on the Olympic level and stuff like that. But it's gonna take, you're right. On the high school level, it is gonna take that too. I just don't know if these girls have the mindset well, we're seeing some of them stand up
eventually
in
they
front
will.
of
I'm
the-
saying.
w- we are starting to see it, right? We're seeing some of these girls stand up in front of school boards and whatnot and everything like that,
Hmm.
and fucking voicing their opinion and everything like that. And you're right, the whole team has to protest, right? If you remember that college team, was it a college team or
Yep.
a high school team that was like not going to volleyball events? Like if there was a boy on the team, they would just forfeit.
Yeah.
But it's gonna have to take like a whole bunch of
Even
schools to
then, one team
forfeit.
isn't enough. Yeah,
Isn't
that's what
enough.
I'm
It's gonna
saying.
take
They're all going to have to just be like, nope, we're not going to compete until this rule is
Right.
fixed.
It's going to take every other school has to say, you got a boy, excuse me, you have a boy on your team. Okay, we're not competing against you. Period. And every team has to boycott it. Every school has to boycott it. But that's not the mentality, unfortunately. Um,
Imagine they have these volleyball games. It'll be like one tranny on one side versus like one tranny on the other side. They have to freaking like lob it to like one
it's
another.
just
It's the team.
a two-man volleyball game. Yeah, you're right. Because
That's
the
it.
reality that fencing, she stood up against USA Fencing and stuff like that and walked off, and she did the right thing.
Hmm.
And she fucking, she's on the air and stuff. Stephanie something, I can't remember her last name. Uh,
Yeah.
Jonathan says he's saying based Blondie, Rogni, and I dropped 4 bombs today. Trans, pedo, Democrats, and fascists. The COVID vaccine didn't work. Climate change is a hoax. 125 messages and counting.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, man. It's a fucked up situation, man. I do feel for these girls, man. And the reality is it's gonna have to take a fight on every level. But
Hmm.
if it starts on the college and pro levels or like the Olympics type levels, it's really college because you don't, other than the dude that was beating up chicks in boxing, which was a travesty. I didn't see any other sport. Were there any other sports during the last Olympics other than the boxer? Jonathan, can you find that out? Were there any other men who competed in the last Olympics other than the male boxer?
It seemed like there was a swimmer, but I don't remember if it was the same.
Was there a swimmer?
Oh,
I
there
didn't even
was.
watch these last
Or was that
Olympics. I
only in
haven't
the
watched
was that
Olympics.
only in the college?
Yeah.
I wonder if the Olympics is going to change now that World Boxing has changed their rules.
Did they? I haven't been paying attention to that. Did they change their rules to fucking
That
make
was
it
that
like
was
to
on
stop it?
that was on my list last week.
Yeah, I missed it.
They changed it on Friday or Saturday. They announced they said as of 2020, no, as of July this year,
Hmm.
you will have to get a DNA test.
A DNA testing to test. I remember hearing something about
Mhm.
that a couple of months ago, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Yep.
Um, I remember hearing that in the wind, but I just was like,
It's
oh,
official.
really? So,
It's
so now
official
they gotta
now.
you gotta test your fucking DNA to make sure that
Yep.
you're
And they
XX
said
and
it's going
XY.
to, yeah, it's going to determine your eligibility for what division you're in,
Right.
just like that. So
Yes, conserve. You're right about that. There was a guy. I don't know. Was that this last? Was this 2024, or was that in 2020? He did that during the COVID era. I think he did that during. Did he come back in 2024? I could have sworn there was a guy from Australia. I think the dude was from Australia who was fucking lifting. Or New Zealand. There
lifting.
you go. New Zealand. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Laurel Hubbard, a weightlifter from New Zealand, and then and Quinn, a Canadian soccer player. So there were dudes that were doing okay. So there was a dude weightlifting and a dude playing on the Canadian soccer team.
gosh,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
but I think I think so. I get well conserved. So Jonathan just said there was another weightlifter this past Olympics from New Zealand. I
Okay.
guess it was that the same guy from 2020 as well, Jonathan. Jay, same one. All right, I knew it was somewhere down under and stuff like that. But again, fucking shit is crazy.
Wow.
I didn't even know about the soccer guy. Did you know about the Canadian soccer player? I didn't know about that.
Well, I didn't know Canada even had a soccer team, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard of Canada having a soccer team.
They're actually their soccer team fucking I know on their women's soccer team they had some wars with the US. Uh
I guess so.
they've had some battles on the fucking field.
I know they have
Uh
a hockey team.
huh?
I know they have a good hockey team.
Yeah, their hockey team's usually pretty damn good too.
Even the women's are. So,
It's you like the down under. Pun intended.
man.
I didn't even realize that, bro. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even realize that. I just fucking went off on that, man. Um, yeah, Blondie, I could only imagine as a woman. This shit should upset you. It should upset every woman,
Hmm.
right? Like, we've been talking about this for a minute now
Should.
because as men, this shit upsets us, right? This isn't
I
even
was
really our
men.
fight. I
Mhm.
mean, it is our fight to an extent. If we have daughters, obviously, who are playing sports, we got to stand up. We got to stand up for them. And cousins, if we have women in our family that are fucking into sports, we got to stand up for them. But this is a fight, you know. Feminism is not about women. It's just about control. Uh, trying to fucking feminism is another Marxist movement. Uh, you know, Jay, I'm laughing, Jay. I didn't even realize about that. I said that. I missed that shit.
Mm.
uh yeah. All right. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Let me go into is that that's the Rumble chat. Let me pull that up because Jonathan pulled this up for us. Here we go. Meet the out competing in the 2024 that yeah, these were the fucking the alpha betas that were out there. Yeah, basketball. Chelsea Gray. We know about there. Alyssa Thomas. We know about her. Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. It's another one.
Yeah.
That's
Brianna
one that's
Stewart.
actually just in the
Deanna
closet.
Taurasi. Yeah. Yeah. Shakari Richardson. We know that she's a carpet muncher. Raven Saunders and Nico Young. All right. So Nikki Hiltz. All right. I don't hit fucking Nikki Hiltz up too much, even though she's a fucking she identifies as a dude. Because she's an actual biological woman that still competes against women, and she doesn't necessarily
Hmm.
beat everybody. There are plenty of women that are faster than her. She's finally making her Olympic debut. She's been running for a little bit. She made her Olympic debut in 2024. She did have a successful collegiate year, but I also saw her get stomped out by a lot of the fucking faster women in the 1500. She came out as a transgender, non-binary in 2021. Uh, yeah. So the new right, all right. So here were the new things we're running, and that actually fucking what the hell is I keep forgetting that African runner uh who was fucking had XY and stuff like that. She used to run the 800, and they changed the rules essentially stating that if your testosterone as a woman is a certain as at a certain point, um but still if it's higher than normal but not like super abnormal, you can't run certain races. So it changed a whole bunch of things, and she ended up, what do you call it, just quitting track and field altogether. But I
And
know who Nikki Hiltz is. um
uh,
she wanted to take testosterone and grow facial hair and have top surgery, which I think she had the top surgery already. But because of the new rules that came into
mhm,
place and whatnot, um, her testosterone level, so she can't keep pumping testosterone in herself and whatnot, which is illegal
mm,
anyway, right? That's a fucking it's like, you're taking
could
a
be.
steroid. You know what I'm saying? No,
Mhm,
that's that, bro. The Olympics. That's why I was like fucking super like, what the fuck, and with all the testing that the Olympic Committee does and the world testing and stuff like that. um, it's just, whatever, it is what it is. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that, these people are going to start having issues. If you're a chick and you want to pump testosterone and you're trying to give yourself an advantage over other fucking, despite how you feel mentally, you're trying to give yourself an advantage over other women, right?
mm,
So she's still running against women, but she wants to pump testosterone in her so that she can fucking grow a beard. That's just not going to happen, right? Because like her testosterone cannot be past a certain point.
right. I
And
know
I can't,
it's a simple technicality. I don't understand why they don't enforce it.
yeah. Well, they're enforcing it on the, what do you call it, on the Olympic level, but like in between the Olympics, they don't, right? Like all these fucking
Yeah.
events, this dude is out there, dressed up as a woman and stuff like that, pumping estrogen into
Yep.
himself, but his muscles have already been developed, his bone structure's already developed, so he's fucking can out pump any of these fucking chicks that he's going up against and stuff like that. Um, but
Yeah.
he can't beat any dudes, and that's all it is. It's just they just
Mhm.
want to beat women, man. It's the perversion. They're fucked in the head.
Um,
That's crazy, man. What are we talking about here? Oh,
I'm
Bruce
getting ready
Jenner. I think they're talking about fucking Bruce Jenner. Yeah,
to.
still gonna be Bruce. Can it be fucking a gold medal athlete and then decide, you know, well, whatever. I guess to each his own. If he wants to take fucking chin music from other dudes and, get his cheeks clapped, that's on him. Yeah, I'm with you, Blondie. He's full of shit. Oh, I'm against women, competing against men in sports. But yeah, all of them, they're all full of shit. All of those Transformers, the Autobots and Decepticons, they can all get together in an arena out in fucking space somewhere and just, smash each other into oblivion. I could care less. Really. It's absolutely nuts. Uh Fucking crazy, man. It's crazy this world we're in, Scott. It's just fucking nuts, man.
Sick.
It
No,
is. There's just a lot of
absolutely
sick
sick.
shit. Well, you know what? We'll end on a fucking good note here. It is. They're just fucking sick fucks, man. Really sucks. Says ICE conclude the largest immigration enforcement to date. Almost 1,500 arrests in Massachusetts, over half with criminal convictions. Awesome. Take them all. U.S. Immigration and Customs. When was this dated? This was dated today. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement announced they have conducted the largest immigration enforcement yet. Recent operations in Massachusetts is the place that activated the fucking National Guard for 38 freaking uh, illegals,
That's crazy.
and the greater
Yeah.
Boston area nabbed 1,461 illegals. Over half of those arrested, 790 had criminal convictions or charges. In addition, 277 had final orders of removal, deportation orders. Statement from ICE noted the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is a safer place today thanks to the hard work and determination of the men and women of ICE and our federal partners. Working together, we were able to arrest almost 1,500 illegal aliens throughout the Commonwealth, most of whom, I bet that mayor is fucking beside herself. Most of whom had
The mayor and the
significant,
governor.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And the governor too. Criminality in the United States
Mhm.
or abroad, said ICE enforcement and removal operations. Boston Acting Field Officer Director Patricia H. Hyde. Make no mistake, every person that we arrested was breaking out immigration laws 100%, but most of these
Mm-hmm.
individuals had significant criminality. Yeah, well, over half of them.
Yep.
They're all criminals. They're all criminal aliens. They're criminal offenders who victimize innocent people and traumatize entire communities. You and I have fucking hit that over the head 1,000 times about how they terrorize their own community first. Murderers, rapists, drug traffickers, and child sex predators are members of violent transnational criminal gangs. Some were convicted of violent crimes in the United States, and others were wanted for. Like, that should just be fucking like the first step out. And others were wanted for criminality in their native countries. All made the mistake of attempting to subvert justice by hiding out in Massachusetts. I'm so glad they went to a fucking state like Massachusetts and told the
Well,
mayor of Boston and the governor of Massachusetts to go fuck themselves.
yeah.
I'm really, really
I mean,
glad.
that's where these people ran to hide because they were told, "Come here, we'll
Yep.
protect you." Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
that's when we're going to focus our deportation then, because you already let them all in, and you're basically shined a light on your state, saying, "Yeah, we're all here."
Yeah. You're just a
Well,
freaking we're a
in fact,
sanctuary state, so just come here.
it's easy to find them because you're telling them all to come to court
I
so
know it's
we
so
can
easy.
adjudicate you, and you gave them all licenses, and you gave them all, you're
Y-
giving them like government aid. So guess what? They're all registered. So it's
Yep,
really
they're all in
not
the
that hard to
system.
track them down. Thank you.
Yeah, they're
Thank you
all in the
very
system.
much.
Thank you.
You did
Thanks for
that.
making the job easier.
You should, someone needs to put a, like a Governor Healy like sticker that just says, "I did that." Mayor Wu, "I did that."
No
You're
shit, man.
welcome.
Hey, fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us in the algorithm. Rumble, you guys fucking representing yet again. You guys are always showing up. Completely and truly appreciate it. We're gonna get ready to fucking roll out here. Uh, I'll do what's coming up. But Red Day, you got anything, brother?
No, um, no, just this Friday. Hopefully, we'll have. I don't know if Lisa's still in the chat, but we'll have Lisa on this Friday. And I forgot who you said was coming on. Who's on Wednesday? The steak
Blonde,
guy.
yeah, Blondie's on with me and
Mhm.
Jake Ryan from Jake Steaks. He's also
Right.
on Instagram. He's Jake from Steak Farm. I love that name. That's pretty
Mhm.
awesome. Uh, so what do you call it? He'll be on the show with us. It'll be a little bit of a
Okay.
Maha episode, and I'll thank Blondie for that. Blondie actually set that up, so um, she's gonna come on the
Cool.
show and interview him
All
with
right.
me. And we're not on Wednesday, so and then Friday we got
So,
Lisa Angelina. Next Monday it's just myself and Red Day. Next Wednesday on the 11th is the first Warrior Wednesday. Myself and Major Ed Polito will be on to tell his story. We're actually gonna be doing Warrior Wednesday every other one. So Major Ed Polito and I will come together on those days, and in between that, I'll just bring you another episode of Break the Machine podcast like we've been doing on Wednesdays. So that starts on the
all
11th.
right.
Um, you know, for Warrior Wednesdays, and we're gonna try to bring on other veterans to tell their stories and whatnot, and how stories of service and stories of success. But we're also going to
Mhm.
probably get into political shit too, because Major Ed Polito's a pretty political dude. He's a lot like us. He's on our side of things and everything with all the bullshit. He's tired of it too. So that's what's coming up for us next week. We do have on the 16th. Um, we're trying to Red Day's trying to put together a nice little group on the 16th, and he's just got to wait for confirmations and whatnot. And then we are trying to bring back the Perez sisters. Red Day is working on that too, along with Cozy Wellness, so we can get another Wep Off Friday together. Um, it was good having, even though they came on separate dates, it was good having them on. So, but anyway, is that all you got, man? I'll take us out.
That's it, man.
All
That's
right,
it.
man.
Have a good
I'll
night.
see you too, brother. I'll see you on Friday, man.
All right.
Well, America, that's another episode of Break the Machine podcast. Again, highlighting, we have Jake Ryan will be with myself and Blondie on Wednesday. So come and hang out with us on Wednesday. Make sure you like and subscribe today, fam. Share these videos. It helps us in the algorithm. Don't forget to pick up your Scars and Stripes coffee. My affiliate link is in the description. And It should take you right to my code should be in there if you decide to pick up some coffee. It's Big Red, one word, all capitals. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord, fam. Um, yeah. So we're gonna what do you call it? We got some good stuff coming up and whatnot. We got some good moves. We're making some moves here on the show, and I got to get a hold of Tombly so we can find out about that show that we're gonna do on Rumble only on Saturdays. Initially, once we get that started, you guys should be able to see it for a while, but it's eventually gonna just become Rumble Premium. Once I get locked into actually being able to what do you call it monetize, and I have to meet Rumble's stupid parameters. At least they're not as dumb as freaking YouTube, because YouTube just continues to wreck me and got me on ice, just like IG. So that's what we got coming up, going on, fam. Got a lot coming up. We got some good things coming on the show. We got a new show, like I said, coming up every other Wednesday, Warrior Wednesday, with myself and Major Ed Polito hosting with me. And those should be pretty good rants that we go on, him and I. Um, two military, one officer, and one enlisted, going at it and talking about stuff. So just love all you guys. Want to say thank you for Conserve Reality because coming to hang with us. Thank you, Rognina. Thank you, Rosie Riveter. Thank you, Lisa Angelina. Sonia, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us too. Um, and whatnot. It's always good to see you guys. Did I miss anyone, Jonathan, in the beginning? So Lisa Angelina. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I want to thank everybody. Yes, 1334, who is Jonathan Stevie. And always Jonathan Stevie, my homie, always taking care of us on the channel and whatnot. And he does a fantastic job. And we'll see you all on Wednesday, fam. So I am the Big Red One Guy signing out. And remember that together and only together can we break the machine. Funny. Oh, sorry. Funny. I'm sorry. Funny Get. Funny Girl 6, is it? Or Ghetto 6? Sorry. If I missed you, I apologize. Thank you for showing up and hanging with us. So sorry about that. And Sonia, yeah, I did say Sonia 7251 was with us too. It's always good to see when people pop up and say what's up to. Again, Rumble, you guys have been great. Signing out. The Big Red One Guy signing out. Remember that together and only together can we break the machine. God bless you all. God bless America. And I will see you all on Wednesday, fam. Have a good night.